Man, how are you though?
Good.
You had a long day?
No, it's good, but I mean, just busy, but in a good way.
Good way?
Yeah, lots of fun stuff happening.
I guess that's cool, like when you do get to do what you love to, and...
Yeah. I mean, every day I'm thankful for, because I just love what we do here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
So tell me, before, I mean, I know a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit more about you.
Well, I learned code through Team Treehouse.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and I was in a dead-end job, and I wanted to see what I can do to get myself out of it. Saw a video with Bill Gates and...
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, yep. That guy, where it talks about how you don't need a degree, you don't need to be smart, and then I Googled how to learn code, tried Udacity, I didn't like it, free code camp was boring, and I told you guys, and I did the 1-month free trial.
Cool.
And fell in love with it.
Nice.
And then 3 months later, got a job. And
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And what was your first job doing?
Web developer is my title, but I'm really a front-end developer.
Awesome.
Transitioning to full stack, learning PHP, Angular, and they're pushing me a lot to just learn a lot of code.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you do that down in LA?
Yeah.
And so, where did the idea come from to do the YouTube channel?
Well, I posted, someone asked a question, is it possible to become a developer in 3 months? And I gave them an answer, and yeah, I did it. And that post went viral, 1.3 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, and I realized, oh shoot, maybe I should do this on YouTube. And so I said the exact same thing on YouTube, with video, with a Note 7. And that video, and so that kind of jump started my channel.
Nice.
Okay, alright guys, what's, maybe zoom in more. There you go. Alright, what's up YouTube? Hey everyone, again, this is Carson and this is Ryan Carson.
Hey!
I think you're the CEO of Treehouse.
I am.
Oh, you are?
CEO and founder.
Oh, and founder. Okay, I missed that one part. I'm so sorry about that. But I'm still here in Portland, Oregon.
Still cranking.
Yeah, still cranking.
It's good late in the day, but he's still going hard.
Yes, been working since 3 a.m. But here, here now.
I'm tired now.
A little tired, but it's okay. I've been looking toward this the entire day. And what I'm gonna do right now is just ask you a few questions.
Let's do it.
And the questions I'm asking are questions you guys ask me on either YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. So we'll go through them right now.
Sounds great.
Okay, so question number 1 is, what are your thoughts on coding bootcamps?
Don't go. I mean, okay, so let me explain why. So the whole reason that I started Treehouse 8 years ago was because I got a computer science degree, and then I got a job. And then I realized I didn't need my degree. And so I got this expensive education, and then the day-to-day work of coding didn't relate at all. And I thought, well, something's messed up, right? Like, this isn't okay. And it bothered me. And then about 7 years later, I was like, I want to solve this problem. This is not okay. And so built Treehouse, and the whole idea was affordable technology education, and so that you can change your life by getting a job. And so we launched Treehouse. It was always affordable. It's always $25 a month to start. And then eventually we thought, people want required projects that are graded, so they're guided, like, okay, do project 1, and then do project 2, and then project 3, and have those projects graded so you get feedback, and they want a very clear path, and they want a lot of extra training on, how do you find a job and interview for a job and all these things.
Yes.
And so we basically set out to say, okay, we need to continue to offer this affordable program to start, but if you want an intense guided program that leads you and shows you how to get a job, then we should launch essentially an online boot camp.
Yes.
Right? So we launched the tech degree. And the tech degree is...
The tech degree wasn't always there?
No. So the tech degree launched in maybe 2016.
Okay. Wow, recent.
Yeah. And so the idea is, hey, most people can't afford to go back to college. Most people can't afford a boot camp. You're talking $15,000.
Yeah.
And the worst part is
minimum.
Yeah. And the worst part is you have to pause your life for 3 months.
That's very true.
And so if you are working hard to feed your family, or if you're trying to stay above water, or you're a mother at home with your kids, or you're a father at home with your kids, you just can't stop doing that for 3 months.
Yes.
And so this huge number of people are getting cut off again from the opportunity.
Yeah,
so the whole point of online education was to unlock the opportunity, and people are getting locked out again. And there's some great boot camps if you can afford them, right? But most people cannot, and even if they can, I think that you can get the same outcome from the tech degree, which is only $200 a month, and you finish in 6 to 9 months. So you're looking at $1,200 to $1,600 or $1,800 in a year to get the same result that you would.
Wow.
And instead of spending $15,000. So obviously I'm biased because I started the company, right? But I just think people don't understand that you don't have to go to a boot camp, and just be real careful. I think there's a lot of bad ones out there, so watch out.
I agree, 100%. Yes, definitely. Well, good answer on that
Thanks.
one. Actually,
I feel a little passionate about that one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, actually, believe it or not, I shared this in my vlog too. There was a boot camp that tried to sponsor me they're going to pay me quite a bit of money per video, but I spoke to someone from your company, and I just wanted to work with you guys. Because you guys made a big difference in my life. And for me, this channel isn't just about making money, but it's helping lives get changed too.
Thanks. And that's why I started Treehouse.
Yeah, definitely.
I really, truly believe that we're at a time when the jobs are exploding, the number of jobs, and the ability to become job ready online matches. And so because of that, you can actually change millions of people's lives, and it needs to be affordable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going to have the same thing again, where it's basically wealthy people winning all the time because they can afford it. Definitely. And that's not why. I don't want to someday, right before I die, look back and say I helped wealthy people get wealthier. I mean, I'm just not into that. I want to empower people that deserve a chance. And so that's what we're here to do. So I appreciate you working with us.
Oh, no. Thank you for even inviting me. Well, I guess since we're on that, why $25 a month and why $50 a month?
So the thought was initially, we have to charge something because what we do is expensive. We have
data alone storage.
Well, it's not that. We have a full-time teaching staff. And you've met them here. So we've got, talented folks whose whole job is to write the curriculum, make the curriculum. We have this amazing video and audio team.
Amazing.
We've got amazing motion designers. We've got talented user interface designers. To make it actually be a good school, it's expensive. And so if we give it away for free, then we can't offer the value. But also, if you aren't paying for anything, it's hard to commit. So if you're getting, an education for free, it's just going to be really hard to say, you know what, I'm going to commit to this. So the issue is, how do we charge enough money that we can be profitable, but as little money as possible, so that it's affordable. So we kind of started there, really happy we can offer a 7-day free trial. So there's those things that I think make it accessible to a lot of people, not to everybody. I wish, that we could charge less, but the reality is, if we want it to be good, it's got to be of a certain level of quality.
Definitely. That makes total sense, because even $25 a month, to be quite honest, although for some people it is quite expensive who don't have jobs, but that's actually it's relatively cheap.
Yeah, you're investing in yourself.
Yes.
It's kind of like, hey, if you can squeeze together $25 a month, pause your Netflix for a month, pause your Spotify, pause your Hulu, just for a couple months. And that's hard. I mean, that it's hard to learn how to code.
It is.
It's not easy, but if you have a deep why, which is, I want to change my life, if I can learn how to code, I can unlock a door and go in it. And once I get in it, this whole world opens up. There are thousands of jobs and thousands of opportunities, and really unlimited ceiling, when it comes to opportunity. So if you can get in the door, it's worth investing at least $25 for.
Minimum. Yeah, that's true. Return on investment is huge, because I know someone who actually, he left a comment in my last video, the last video I made about you guys, actually.
Nice.
Not sponsored at all. It wasn't a sponsored video at all. And he said that because he saw my Treehouse video, my first one, and he went through Treehouse for 12 more months, and he doubled his salary.
Wow. Yeah, and that's such a common story.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we have story after story after story. I mean, we have this amazing woman I'm working with right now named Abby, and she has Mexican parents, and her entire family for generations has been stuck at an income level that's tough, really tough, and none of them have been able to go to college or get a degree, and none of them are working in tech. Yeah. And so, her family, no one even said to her, hey, you should think about going to tech, because none of them work in tech.
Yeah.
And so she came along, and she's in the Boys and Girls Club, and we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club. And then we went out and found an employer and said, hey, will you hire an amazing apprentice? And we want you to pay that apprentice minimum $55K a year. So just to start, but they're not going to have a degree.
Oh, shoot.
They're not going to have experience, but they're going to arrive at your doorstep with a ton of grit, and they're going to know how to code. And we booted the system up, and Abby's going to get a job in about a month, earning $55K to start. And the thing, if you're watching this, the thing you need to understand is, you may be able to start at $55K, which is still great money for a huge percentage of the population, but that's just the start. So within, I say 3 to 5 years, on average, you'll be making $90K or more. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's an amazing industry.
That's actually very normal too.
Right. Yeah, it's totally normal. And then, the salaries start getting crazy if you move to Silicon Valley. So
yeah, definitely. But then the rent gets crazy.
Right. So it's better to live in Portland.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Actually, I know someone, he followed me since the beginning of my channel too, and he got paid $35,000 a year. And then after going on Treehouse, what happened is he got his first salary of $60,000 a year.
Wow.
Which is more than what I got at my company.
Right.
And not just that, a year later, he got he got an offer from another company for $100,000 a year. And he told me 2 months ago, Chris, my goal for next year is $120,000
wow.
a year. And this is and he didn't go to college or anything.
Right.
He learned Angular and Java. And you have a great Java teacher, Craig.
Yeah. He's right out there.
Yeah, he's literally right out there. Wow. Well, thank you.
There's so much opportunity. It's not easy. Like, if you're watching this video, this isn't easy money, but it is accessible. So if you're willing to put in the work like Chris did and learn, then you can do it. You just have to decide, okay, I'm going to do it. It's going to take me 6 months of learning 1 to 2 hours a day, and I just am going to commit to not quitting. Like, I'm not going to quit. If you can do that, there's infinite possibility.
And that's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't tell you this. When I first started on Treehouse, I studied code for 1 month and I quit.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I was like, no way, this is not going to work for me. This is not for me. HTML is so easy now, but HTML, no way. And then 3 months later, I told myself, Chris, if you don't try to learn code now, you will regret it forever.
Right.
And so I went back, and 3 months later, I got my first job offer.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, you didn't. In the end, you didn't quit, right? And you hit a wall that everyone hits for sure. Yeah. And if you're watching this and you've hit that wall, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you'll hit a point where you think, I can't do this. I don't know why. I think I can. This is all uncomfortable. All these people have done this before. They get it. You have all this doubt. But you have to just know that it's like a train journey, and that is going to be one of the stops, and you will go through it.
And that's not just with the basic, that's with even like programming language, JavaScript especially.
Yeah, anything. You will go through that stop, and the train will stop there, and you'll want to get off. And you just have to know, I'm just not going to get off the train. No. Like, I'm just going to keep going. And then eventually the tracks take you, to a job. And getting a job isn't automatic either. I mean, you have to go through the process of, okay, how do I apply for jobs? How do I not give up when people say no? How do I not get freaked out when I go to the interview and panic? But again, if you apply for enough jobs, you will get one, and then once you get one, then you're on the ladder, and then you have experience, right? So the other thing that's kind of cool that I've been telling people is, you also can get into tech by doing small freelance projects. So if you're thinking about learning how to code, then you can learn a little bit of code and then do something really simple for free for a friend.
Oh, yes, I talked about this too, yes.
Right, so the idea is ask a friend if you can do their website for free. And they'll probably be like, all right, I guess, and what's the worst that could happen, right?
Yeah.
And then once you do that, then you ask a small business, can I do your website but for like $100, right? It's still super cheap. You're still basically losing money yourself. And then they say yes, and then you have your first $100 project. And then you go and you ask a business to do it for $200, $300, $500, $1,000, and you just like ratchet your way up to, oh wow, now I can charge $1,000 or more to do a project for somebody, and they take me seriously because I have all this other work. So you can work your way into the industry that way as well. Definitely. You don't have to like go from not being employed to suddenly working at a tech company. It's basically a process. So.
I actually, in regards to that too, and I think depending on the size of the company, sometimes you can literally copy and paste code from other pages and just like edit it around, because sometimes it's the exact same framework. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way how I learned to code, right? So Treehouse didn't exist.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know PHP. And my first job as a developer was basically a PHP developer job, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I actually used O'Reilly books. Which are great, but you know, they're books and you have to buy them and
you have to read them.
You have to read them. I know. And then, you know, I used code from the book and then changed it and adapted it and broke it and then fixed it. And then I, you know, found other open source projects, downloaded them, changed them, adapted them. And, you know, my first apps were basically everyone else's code. Yeah. Like slightly.
And that's normal though.
No, it's the way to do it. Like no one writes code from scratch.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no one does.
No,
I don't know anyone that has.
Right?
Yeah, it's too hard. Well, I guess in regards to that, then writing code, do you think there'll eventually be bots that could write code and now developers won't be needed?
The magic programming robots.
Yes.
You know, it's like anything. So I was actually just watching a show on Netflix last night with my wife, and you watch Netflix? I do, believe it or not. Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm really tired and I want to like zone out, right? So then we're watching a TV show called The Crown right now because my wife is British, and so I'm really into Britain, and so I'm watching the show anyway. But in it's in like the 1960s, 50s, and there's all these telephone operators, you know, and they're making calls, and all these operators are plugging in switches just to get a call from, you know, the queen to her sister. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because machines have totally taken that job. Like they're gone. Yeah. There's no telephone operators now. Yeah, it's not. But yet we've figured it out. Yeah. You know, we've basically risen one layer above, right? So now instead of you know, switching things, we use Twilio, which is a service that allows you to write an app that sends SMSs, right? And so now as developers, we're using our creativity and we're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So I think what's going to happen is machines are going to be doing more and more hard tasks, which then frees humans up to do extremely creative tasks. Yeah. And you'll still be building things. It's just that you won't have to do really brutal, hard, low-level things. You know,
so it's like a framework, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a framework, and this happens all the time. Like, you know,
that's true.
When React was created, it didn't put everyone out of a job. Yeah, it actually enabled everyone to do more.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's where I think we're going, and it'll happen for sure, but it's not going to be the end of development at all. I think it's actually going to create a renaissance where you're freed up from a lot of the hard stuff, and you can actually be super creative. So,
well, does that means then, even for us developers, then that we need to just continue to always learn too?
Yeah, keep learning.
Yeah,
it's never gonna stop. So this industry is fun. If you love learning and you love solving puzzles, it's so fun. Yeah, I love it.
No, definitely, I agree. Well, here's another question. With just like the Tesla, and there's refrigerators that can tell you what kind of food is in your fridge. Yeah. Pretty much, aka machine learning. There's something with Amazon. Oh my gosh.
Alexa.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So machine learning. Are you guys doing anything with machine learning?
Oh,
you are. Okay.
We are. Right now working on machine learning basics.
Oh.
It's going to be kick-ass.
Wow. And that's going to be available on
Treehouse
membership.
Yep.
$25 a month.
$25 a
membership.
month. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be the first one to sign up for that.
It's going to be great, because I mean, one thing that we're really, really good at Treehouse is teaching beginner topics, right?
Yes.
So
agree, yes.
We don't try to compete with Pluralsight and do really advanced, crazy stuff. Like, we don't try to do, you know, flying degree engineering like Udacity does. Like, we teach beginners the skills they need to get jobs, right? So the idea is, and Nick Pettit's going to teach it. You know,
nice. He's from Orlando too, right?
Yeah, and he was our first teacher. He's still with us. He's really good at explaining, you know, very difficult subjects to people that have never done it before. So the idea is we all need to understand machine learning.
Yes.
Like at least at a basic level where like I can talk intelligently about it. I can use basic tools. I can build an app that uses very basic, you know, easy machine learning. I can do that. And so we're really good at that. So anyone who's watching this that wants to get their head around like, what is this machine learning stuff? How do I actually begin using it? We're going to have a course for you. It's going to be awesome.
That's awesome.
Can't wait.
Wow. Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, I really want to go into that. Even my senior developer talks about it all the time too.
Yeah.
Wow. Because it seems like it's pretty big. It's a lot of people talk about it a lot. And
it's the future.
Yeah, it's
right?
the future.
I mean, it's clear machines are much better than humans at learning certain things.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if you saw, but DeepMind set its sights on chess the other day. And this is the machine learning algorithm that beat the world's best Go players.
Oh, yes.
So basically, you know, I think it's called, I'm pretty sure it's called DeepMind. And so DeepMind figured out how to play Go and then eventually crushed all the humans, right? We're like, it sucks. You know, we thought we were really good at this. And then they thought, well, let's teach it chess and see what it can do. And they just said, here's the rules of chess. And in 24 hours, it was better than any human has ever been, right?
Yeah.
So the point is machines are way better at learning certain things that machines are good at learning. Like, let's let them get good at that, right? And let's use that instead of trying to...
Plan and fear.
Yeah, let's try to be really good machines. No, let's try to be really good humans and let the machines help us. So
definitely.
Machine learning is gonna support everything in the future. So it's best that people get their heads around it and just kind of start to feel comfortable. Like, this is another tool. It's not, you know, Skynet. It's okay. Calm down, everybody. Right?
That's a good one.
It's gonna be all right. You know, I think.
Definitely. I hope so. Like 2 more questions. Then.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have people who, there are a lot of people who follow me from India, Philippines, all over the world.
Everybody.
Of course, for people who live in developed countries, it's very hard for them to even afford Treehouse too, of course. But of course, there's always a way to make a way. But do you guys have any plans for like developed countries?
We're thinking about it. We don't have any huge plans right away because there is a lot going on in the U.S. that we're focusing on. But I know that we're starting to think more about pricing in rupees natively.
Wow.
You know, we're trying to think about how to make it more affordable.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this and you're from a developing country, we care about you, and I'm very thankful to have your attention, to have your passion for Treehouse. Thank you. But we're just trying to do the best we can with our smaller team. You know, we specifically have chosen not to be a crazy venture capital fueled, you know, growth at all costs type company. We've chosen to try to be a sustainable, viable, healthy tech company instead, which means we can't do everything that we want to do as fast as we want to do it. So sometimes we have to make choices. And so emotionally, I want to tell you, we're there, we're trying, but you may not see a ton of movement right away.
Yeah, definitely.
But
it's definitely not easy to do as well. It must take a lot of planning.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we want to do it right. So, you know, if you're in a developing country, we don't just want to promise that we can make you job ready.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be able to deliver on that.
Definitely.
Please continue to learn as best you can. Please let us know how we can help you more, and we'll do the best we can.
Definitely. Great. Okay, 2 more questions then.
Do it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh wow, I just forgot what the question was.
It's gonna be a really good one.
It was a really good one. Oh, here you go. Okay. So, I mean, obviously you have access to the data on, you know, what languages are being studied the most in your system, or maybe, you know, as people email you, let you know they got hired. What languages are really like, what's it in 2018? What JavaScript. Wow. So my senior developer told me the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's off the hook.
Is it because of just Angular and React? Is that
the reason? It's interesting because there has to be enough energy around a framework or a language for there to be a lot of innovation. And what's happened is, there was a question of, okay, what language do we use in the back end versus the front end? And obviously a lot of the front end stuff was JavaScript already. And then I think as soon as Node and Angular really took hold, people realized, wait a minute, like we can be JavaScript developers, front end, back end, both, either or. And it just meant, okay, I don't have to go learn Ruby and JavaScript, or I don't have to learn.
Oh, that makes sense.
I just learn JavaScript. So, and it will always change, right?
Yeah.
So in 2019 or 2020, it's going to be something else, or it'll be an adaptation of it. But I think right now, if you want the best chance of getting a job and being relevant, just learn full stack JavaScript. So, we've got a tech degree for that, guides you the whole way. And you'll probably be focusing, it's interesting, it used to be more Angular, and now it's React.
No way.
And
really?
so React is really, really super hot. And now,
is it because it's just making like mobile development so much easier?
Yep. Yeah. And it means, React Native means that companies don't need iOS and Android developers and web developers. You can actually just have one team. It's really expensive for companies to have to build mobile apps and web apps, because they're completely separate. You have to keep them in sync. It's literally like you're doubling or tripling your costs. Whereas if you can basically build your web app and use React Native to port it to native mobile apps, it's the same code. So we're seeing a lot of moves towards that. But there's still and is going to be native mobile jobs for a long time. Like if you want to learn Objective-C or Swift or Java, there's gonna be a ton of jobs for a long time, right? So I would say if you feel like web apps are more interesting to you and you kind of for some reason are drawn to that, JavaScript. If you think, no, I really love like native mobile web application or native mobile apps, I really am passionate about mobile. I love being, having access to the accelerometer and all the native functions of phone, then probably learn, either iOS development or Android development. If this is all confusing to you and overwhelming, then forget about everything you said and just start with very simple JavaScript. And then you can start to branch out.
Definitely. Wow. So React, because I've always talked about Angular, but maybe because Angular is more popular in Orange County right now. But
React is starting to kick its ass.
Really?
So, but the funny thing is now there's something called Vue.
Yes, Vue.js.
And Vue is now starting people. This is how fickle the community is. And this is why if you're watching this video or you're learning how to code, what you need to understand is that basically you have to learn how to code so that you can speak a language. So the idea is as soon as you learn one programming language, it becomes very easy to learn your second.
That's very true.
And your third.
PHP was very easy after JavaScript.
Right. You're like, oh, this is a variable, this is a loop, this is an array,
It's different syntax.
This is a function, this is how object-orientedness works. And you realize, it's just the same thing, but with slightly different syntax.
Wow, definitely.
So.
Wow, okay. Well, I guess one more question then.
Dude,
that was very
as many as you want. Yes.
Let me make this a little brighter. It's getting a little darker in here now.
It is getting dark.
Yeah.
The sun is going down in Portland.
It's going down. I'm surprised there's sun.
I know. There's sun here.
I came at the right time. I guess because people want to know, like, like you guys flew me out here.
Yeah.
You guys flew me out here. I'm very thankful for that.
I'm glad you came.
Yeah, I don't mind not having sleep. That was my fault.
Good.
That was my fault, but I still worked anyway. So like, what was the reason that you guys flew me out here? Because I have a channel of about 12 to 13,000 subscribers now.
Well, the reason why is because you are exactly the reason why we started this company. You taught yourself how to code and you got a job and you're on your way to changing your life with that. I mean, you are the story, right? And so we want to celebrate that. And we think people go to YouTube to say, how do I learn how to code, or how do I change my life, or how do I do this, right? But I want to hear from somebody who's done it. They probably don't want to hear from Treehouse directly, right? Because it's like, well, they're the company, but I want to hear from someone who's actually done it, so I can actually get a realistic view and see the story of what it's like. So we thought it'd be fun to partner with you, and we love your channel, and we just thought, let's do it.
Oh, thank you. Well, just so they know, I'm not sponsored by you guys.
I know. This is out of love and excitement. It's amazing.
No, it's exciting. Wow. Well, any last words do you want to say to anyone who hasn't tried out Treehouse yet?
Yeah, I think if you are thinking about learning how to code, or you've heard there's a lot of jobs in the tech industry, or you hear that all the opportunity is there, it's true.
It is.
There are thousands and thousands of jobs that pay really, really well, and it opens up all the doors. And the most important thing to realize is that you don't have to have a college degree, period. You definitely don't have to study computer science.
Yes.
You don't have to be great at math. You don't have to be great at physics. You don't have to be off the charts IQ.
Or take calculus.
Right. You literally, none of that matters. None of it. All that matters is that you have grit, so you don't quit. So you are able to continue learning even when it gets a little hard. That's the number one thing. The number two thing is you just have to be a little creative. It's actually a really creative industry.
Yes.
And writing code is more like writing a story.
Very true.
So you can do it. Just don't give up and start today. That's the key. So it's going to be like, what do I learn? When do I learn it? How do I learn it? It doesn't really matter. Just decide. Okay, today I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to start.
Yes.
Obviously, I think Treehouse is a great place to start. But
Definitely.
The point is you got to start, and it has to be today. So if you're watching this video, immediately stop it and go start. Right? That's what you got to do.
I agree.